Good afternoon. I thought today would be a great day to show you how to make one of these handy little scissor holders. It holds two pairs. I saw this on Instagram and it was all in centimeters. Not everybody operates in centimeters, so I figured I'd give this a go and show you how to do it in inches. You're going to want to take two pieces of your fabric, cotton fabric, and this is 11 3/4 inches by 11 3/4 inches. You're going to place them right sides together. You are going to pin all the way around, leaving an opening on the side to turn. You're going to sew your 1/4 inch seam. And then I have found when you get to the corner, like right about here, you want to put your foot down, or your needle down, lift your foot, turn just a little bit, kind of put your foot back down, hand crank your wheel down one, up, and then turn it. Your foot or your corner is going to lay a little bit flatter if you do that. Now we're going to turn our pieces. Once you have turned your pieces, you're going to take your little point turner, stuff it in your holes, and kind of work out your corners. Be careful that you don't run that through there. But see what I mean when I said the corner lays better when you do that trick? And I will link to you the person that I learned that from. Now that we've got it turned, we are going to press it. Got it pressed. Now you're going to top stitch all the way around to close up your opening. So now that we have it top stitched, and you can see I did it on the very, very edge, so it's like about 1/8 of an inch. You're going to take I labeled my corner when I did this in my diagram. So this is going to be like your A corner, and this is your B corner. You're going to take your A corner to your B corner and make a cute little triangle. You're going to make sure your edges are lined up. Move a little closer. And I like to press mine. You do not have to do that. That's just my preference. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to mark our 5 centimeters. If you have a tape measure that kind of looks like this, you can go to the other side. Here are your centimeters right there, right before your 2-inch line is your 5 centimeters. So if you have one that doesn't have that on the back, but it looks like this, it's right in between your 7/8 and your 2-inch mark. So we're going to go right there at that 5 centimeters, mark that right, hold that right there at the bottom. And then we're going to mark right there. The friction pen is amazing. It does come off with heat. I love it. I have recently found out it does reappear, or it can, not that it does, it can reappear. This is on the inside. It doesn't matter if it reappears or not. And I will show you how to get rid of it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stitch a 1/4 inch seam from the top right here, all the way down to this. Don't forget to reverse at either end that way. And I have engaged my dual feed because sometimes this gives me trouble, and I'll be using my by Annie stiletto to help kind of feed this thickness through there. And yeah, I'm not going to forget to reverse my stitch to reinforce that seam. Go back in, and there's where I marked with my pen. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to reverse it. So there we have it. Okay, so if you haven't used a friction pen before, there's the mark I made. I've got my iron on high heat, because yes, you need a higher heat. It'll come off with medium, but it takes a minute. And there you have it. It is almost, well, yeah, you kind of see a little bit, but it's gone for the most part. Now you're going to turn the whole thing over, including this little weird point right here. Okay, from your spot over here, you are going to go over, you're going to find the line right before your 4. So right about there, going to place that right there on your little spot. That's your, no, I'm sorry, your seam, your seam. Then you're going to take your friction pen again, and then you're going to mark right there. That's about 10 centimeters. If you have one of these tape measures that's got your centimeters on it, feel free to use it. If you don't, you can turn it over, and it's, I mean, like right there. It's probably actually a little bit in between that mark and that mark, but it'll work for you. Now that you have your mark here, you're going to go from here to this right here where your 5 centimeters was. Put your ruler there at that mark, and then your ruler at that mark, and that mark. Right? I'm trying to get this so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So that spot right here, if you feel free to mark it again if you want, so you can see where you're at. So the outside of that line to the very top of that line, and you're going to draw. If you go crooked, that's fine. It doesn't matter. So you are going to stitch your next stitch right along that line. And there you have it, from the bottom to the top. And you're going to come in here and get your markings off. And don't forget to clip your threads. Okay, so now you're going to flatten them out, just like so. And press. Now, I will say the video that I saw didn't say what to do about the flappy part right here. So what I did on this one is I tacked it down on both sides, because I made the first version. I didn't do that, and I wish I had. The other thing is, the version I saw left that part tucked in. It bothered the ever-loving bejeebers out of me. So I folded this up, and then I tacked it down. And I like how it looks better. This one is going to end up being a gift. I wish that I had done that to mine, and I might go pull mine apart and do that. I hand sewed a snap on here. You do not have to do that. If you have the snap kit, you can do that to finish off yours. But there you have it. This is one of those handy dandy scissor holders, 2 pairs.